Hello there, I'm the student and this is another video on my channel, and today I wanted to talk about a new decision and how it possibly leads a new colonial meta in 1.35 domination. And before I'm going to start to show you the decision itself, that I mean, just in this game, it's a non-Ironman game, I just cheated myself some tech and some mana to show you this. But if you think about this first, if you want to play a colonial Castile, for example, in this situation, as you can see, the colonial tree over here requires you to have an explorer. It requires you to have Terrarum, which Castile starts with actually in this patch, and then it opens your colonial tree. And obviously, as you notice, I don't see any of the new worlds, so you need those explorers obviously to explore the regions. And that is the reason why normally the first idea group always will be exploration ideas. But in this case, as you can see, I took what I would take in a normal game, but I would, just to show you this, I took Maritime and expansion ideas, Maritime instead of exploration. And the thing about exploration is that it gives you a colonist, it gives you colonial range, it allows recruitment of explorers and conquistadors, which is definitely nice, there's no doubt about that, but it mainly gives you colonial stuff, as you can see. Otherwise, it's just colonial stuff. Whereas maritime ideas actually gives you a lot of trade modifiers, a lot of marines modifiers. Marines actually make your army extremely powerful, especially if you play such a nation with a lot of ports and colonial empire ambitions basically. And if you want to see why the Maritime Idea Group is so good, then you can watch my other video of why the Maritime Idea Group is so strong in my opinion. And in the current patch actually it's even stronger because it allows you to click a decision which is called Confirmed Thalassocracy, which normally would give you only a merchant, lightship cost, yearly navy tradition and so on. But in this current patch it gives you as well 50 government reform progress and the reformed thalassocracy, which allows you to have basically the trading nations as subjects. So the trading enterprise subject, which is a reworked subject type that was in the game before in earlier patches, and which is now back to the game with this government reform that you only get through clicking this decision, which you need maritime or naval ideas for. Now that's why maritime is in my opinion better than exploration, but obviously you need colonists additionally from this one that you get, because you want to get the new world fast obviously. And then the question is, which colonizing idea is better, expansion or exploration? And even though exploration over here gives 10% settler increase and 10 global settlers increase, I think expansion ideas is definitely way better still, because it just gives you 2 colonists and additional 5% settler chance, so only 5% less than exploration. And on top of that it gives 20 global settler increase instead of 10. So if you have just the colonial aspect of the game, just the colonial aspect of this idea group versus the exploration idea group, then expansion ideas are simply better. And the biggest thing about why expansion things are even better is because they give also crazy other bonuses, like one merchant. One merchant is extremely valuable if you are funding a colonial empire basically, as well as envoy travel time minus 20%, really nice. A diplomat and reduced liberty desire. So this diplomat alone is makes this idea worth basically. And on top of that, it also gives 20% global trade power, which is so insane modifier that you would normally only get that modifier if you form Italy, for example, which has that in their national ideas, which is obviously an endgame tag. So, as you notice, this modifier of 20% global trade power is an endgame tag modifier. And then on top, obviously, the minimum autonomy in territories, which also affects half states, obviously. If you notice, I can just destate that half stated. You notice the minimum autonomy is 40% over there, as you can see, 40% down there instead of 50%, which makes this 20% more valuable than it would otherwise be. Actually, half states and territories are used a lot if you play like a normal Castile game and go into West Africa, or those trading company regions are affected by that. There's one big problem about that, which is the reason why exploration were still important in the previous patches, and that is the fact that it allows you to recruit explorers over here. As you can see, you need the quest of the New World, which is obviously essential to be first in the New World and so on, because you need to just discover it. You can try to steal maps, but it takes a lot of time and a lot of effort, obviously. And this is the reason why I'm making this video, because in the current patch there is a new decision which is from the burghers, and it just requires you to have one privilege granted, basically, which is grant New World charters. This privilege is unlocked in the point where you have one colonist. So it gives you really nice colonial modifiers, as you can see, so you would want to enact that anyways if you colonize. So if you do that, you'll notice that there is another decision over here, which is grant New World charters, the same as the privilege. And it requires you to have loyalty of the burghers higher than 30 and influence higher than 40, which is not a problem at all. Even if you have higher trade income and so on, then you would have over 40 anyways. So there you can see I can click that now, and this gives me colonial range plus 10%, which basically gives me at least one-fifth of the colonial range here, so quite nice. And it gives you an explorer. So yeah, as you can see, I can click this right now. I have an explorer. I can explore anything right now, as you can see, and I can also click those missions of the tree with having an explorer, without having to take this shitty idea group, basically. And even if you think that Maritime is not a really good idea group, you can just take anything else. You can take quality ideas to have better troops. You can take mercenary ideas in the idea group to have more troops and cheaper mercenaries and so on. You can take diplomatic if you want for the province war score costs and so on instead. So this is extremely valuable to not have to take the exploration ideas, basically. And the best thing about this is that this decision can be clicked every 10 years, which means that every 10 years you get an explorer for free. And and normally your explorer obviously wouldn't die within 10 years if you don't get any bad events, basically, right? So yeah, this is basically the decision that I wanted to talk about. And if you're wondering, actually the Conquistadors is, for example, for Castile, no problems, because you get Conquistadors, for example, of this mission over here. So that is not a problem either, and you can also obviously steal maps from the native tribes in South America, North America, to get the inland maps, and to go further into the inland. What do you think about this mechanic that I showed you just now, and would you think that this Castile, as yeah, maritime expansion, for example, will be stronger than exploration expansion. I mean, if you think about the policy, it's 33% naval force damage, which is actually more than exploration gives, on top of the one that the enormous 50% that maritime gives. So I think this could be really a revolution to the colonial gameplay, to just ignore exploration ideas and just take some of the other great ideas that are in the game and make your country way stronger, way faster, and reach your goals way smoother. And we are going to see in the next video.